All right. Hey, rock stars, how's it going? All right. How has everyone's St. Patrick's Day weekend been? It's been very chill on my end. Not too much has happened. It's usually pretty relaxing, but usually a lot of spring holidays, they tend to be around the relaxing sort of period of time. Not many of them are too demanding or too all over the place. A lot of them are just kind of just trying to be themselves, just kind of vibe out. Went to the grocery store lately. I ended up picking up quite a few things. I had to grab some chili mangoes. They're like kind of like almost like dry mangoes that are coated in like a chili flake sort of like thing going on. It's actually kind of nice. Like deep down, it's something where you kind of have to have a craving for it though, because it's something where you're gonna probably feel the spice at some point if you eat too many. So that's something where it's something where I was really jonesing for that kind of sensation. But I have that to look forward to. I have some coffee that I bought recently. It's a medium roast that has a kind of, it's supposed to taste like strawberry, a little blueberry. I think the beans are sourced in like Uganda, but it was kind of like a medium roast. And I feel like usually I like darker roast a little bit more because it has more of like a cocoa, like chocolate sort of profile to it. But it was really nice to be able to kind of like get into like sort of a medium roast again, have that sort of thing where it's like a coffee, but it tastes kind of like tea almost in a sense. You start to notice that as you get really super into coffee, where the more you end up drinking, or the more you end up getting like involved in the beans that you end up picking up, the more you start to notice that they all have a sort of like flavor profile. Your light roast is usually going to be a lot more airier, usually a lot more citric. Your like medium roast is going to be a little bit darker, but more like stone fruits, berries, cherries, that sort. And then with dark roast, you get a lot more of like that sort of cinnamon chocolate, sort of cacao almost sort of vibe to it. That is not what I'm drinking at the moment because I had to get rid of like the remaining bit of my cold brew, which was like dark coffee and chicory. And I also have some Earl Grey with me because we are going to be diving into Britain, I believe. And I think it's like the Great Ace Attorney. I got it recently. There was like a huge Steam sale on like practically everything. So I bought like a ton of different things. I'm going to mix and match a bit if you guys don't mind. I hope you guys don't mind them. I ended up picking up a lot more than I bargained for. So I got that. I got Cult of the Lamb. I got like a Disgaea game. I got Umineko. These are all just things I ended up picking up at some point just out of curiosity. And I got really excited to kind of just share it. But that's something I can look forward to. Like sipping on some of the Earl Grey tea. Last night I watched some K-drama called Nonetheless. It was a lot of fun. I think I ended up kind of semi-lucid because I was like near like sleep. I was super drowsy and I drank a little bit too, so I was a little toasted as well. But I feel like that kind of ended up spicing things up because like the whole thing is about like just all this kind of drama tied around like what if like a playboy was trying to fall in love, and what are the repercussions that come from being a playboy in the past but also trying to find said love. Very funny shits. But without further ado, I would like to get more into this game here, and I think that I'm going to get that initial setup going. Let's get that mic up. Let's get this mic off. We are going to be getting that all together. Now, let me know if all of this processes well, because sometimes things process good and sometimes things not so much. But we are going to be getting all of this together. Yes. Checking for DLC. Supports autosave feature. Please do not turn off the PC, or else we'll find you. We have your address. We have your credit card on hand. I love this music. It's like Metal Gear Solid, kind of like ba 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 da 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 da. Let's look at our options. We got our music. We got vibration. Let's turn this off. We got our language. English voice or Japanese voice? I guess I'll choose English. That should be fine. This should be good. In place of autoplay, progress automatically without buttons. No, I need to press my buttons. I need this game to press my buttons. I need it to annoy me, otherwise I will not be funny. Let's see, let's select an adventure. New game.
The Empire of Japan. After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation brought great waves of Western influence to this far eastern island nation.
Oh man,
The
Matthew
revolution
Perry
washed over the land, making life
is
in the
like
capital
open. Oh shit! No, sorry. The Matthew Perry thing where he like opened up the borders and then brought friends.
and some was swept away by the tide.
Oh bang! Oh man, that dude looks like Fang from Street Fighter. Dude's got a long face.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Ah man. Our hero, ladies and gentlemen, the shooter of people. I have to prove I'm not the shooter of people. Episode 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. Let's do the 4 kids, like, sort of inflection. November 22nd, 8:43 a.m. The Supreme Court of the Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? What? Oh no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer! Damn, this is harsh. Sorry for the murder. It wasn't... I didn't mean it. It was just supposed to be a love tap. Honestly. My name is Ryunosuke Harunoda. No, I mixed that up. My name is Ryunosuke Harunoda. Ryunosuke Harunoda. Harunoda. No, Naruhodo. Ryunosuke Harunoda. Ryunosuke Harunoda. Pleasure to meet you. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, doing everything I can. That's enough. He is not obligated to listen to such an abuse, officer. Oh, but who are you? I am this man's lawyer. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer? Yes, and until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. So you will hold your tongue. Technicalities. Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, it seems to I still seem to know better than you on how a court officer should behave. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no. I suppose it wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. There you go again, apologizing. Just like always. Though I must say, you have been all over the newspapers these past few days. Yume University professor, murdered in cold blood by student. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Of course not! You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. Then there must be nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. You mean... I believe you. I know you're innocent, Ryunosuke. Man, this very cute guy has a lot of faith in me. Kazuma Asogi, my best friend. Also in his second year at Yume University. But he's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive considering he's an undergraduate. Wait, it's not that no, it is... They don't really hand out fucking, like... You don't just pass the bar at your undergrad. What is this fucking crazy ass shit? The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan anyways. They wouldn't know whether I'm qualified or not. It's not that impressive. Really, it'd be pure luck if you weren't found guilty just because I'm not trained in this stuff. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. You said exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma. Truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know. I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites that acknowledge me. They acknowledge my academic achievements and successes in court. So you'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world? I'm really happy for you. And I'm proud as your friend. There's not a soul in the universe who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. There's some mysterious aura billowing around his temple. His temple. I wanted to bring a change to our legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean to see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Because if there's one nation I know that absolutely cares about law and order and justice, it's the fucking Great Britain. Then come with me. We'll have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's City of London together. Oh man, we'll be tearing something up alright. Tearing up the streets and tearing up the sheets. Not half bad, Kazuma. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow again, partner. Ooh, partner. Getting to travel abroad together and being called partner. Ooh, this is... I think that this is going to be the start of something very beautiful. He took the coffee cup with him. Oh man. He was like, I'm not letting this go. This is my to-go cup. Stealing this mug is like a to-go cup. I feel like people... There's people that would do that, I think, with like, a lot of stuff in hotels. Like people stealing things like soaps and Bibles and lotions. Be like, well, I'll just take this with me. This towel, they have millions of towels. This isn't to say, take things. If you are a member of a hotel industry thing, Asogi, may I have a word? Professor, I didn't know you were coming.
Well, this case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now, Asogi. You should go immediately to the judge's chambers.
To His Excellency's chambers? Why?
He was looking for you before. You advocating for the defense in this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today as a result.
Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke. I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes, thanks, Kazuma.
Now that that's gone, I fucking did it, okay?
Oh, this is awkward.
If I may, you better plead guilty. I killed his ass, okay? If you say anything about what I did, or anything I might have done, or you bring any kind of suspicion my way, I will make sure that there is a special someone that ends up accidentally finding you in compromising positions of death in a jail cell.
Yes, sorry.
You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Hey, I got it right. Yes, that's right.
My name is Yujin Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yume University.
Professor Mikotoba. I've heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad.
Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. As such, I feel you should know.
Know what?
Well, as you no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again.
What?
As I suspected, you were unaware of this.
I had a feeling Asogi chose not to tell you. I guess he didn't want to pressure you. Be like, if you truly killed him, then like your friend's career is like over. He agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing?
The administration has chose a large number of applicants for overseas study. It's very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even in the most favorable of circumstances.
I don't believe it. But I didn't do it. I swear it. I'm not a murderer.
I'm sure that's true. Nevertheless, your ass and his ass are on the line. I can assure you proving your innocence will not be an easy task. You see, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial.
Sorry, what do you mean?
You'll soon understand once proceedings get underway.
But then what should I do?
Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest do anything that could lead to conviction.
Right, so
as soon as the trial starts, look through all of the amendments that you can. And if you could choose one, plead the fifth. Plead the fifth. The judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. Just like...
Man, this is a secret wedding proposal. Be like,
Alright, to the defense. Do you think Naruhodo will ask Kazuma to be his lovely and devoted husband? If you don't jump in and say I do, they will say I will object, and your proposal of moving overseas with your beautiful man will be gone forever. What will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant! Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
Whee! Sorry, I just gotta swoosh over here. Disturb as little as possible.
Ah, it would be our surreptitiously discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to summarize. Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in advocating for the likes of you anyways.
This is it. This trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of studying abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder.
And so, with absolutely no idea of what lays ahead, I embark on an unforgettable trial.
My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. Okay. No hard pressure or anything. God. I know I played Ace Attorney before. I played like the first one on my iPhone ages ago. But I beat the first game at least. So, from what I remember, I was supposed to be gathering evidence, but apparently the Supreme Court of Judicature. No court in the land has more power. I don't like the look of these people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in here. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. A secret trial? A trial that's closed to ordinary members of the public. Only military and government officials may attend. Oh, this is a kangaroo court. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, you need to concentrate, Ryunosuke. It's about to begin. Not him looking exactly like, what's his name? From, what's it called? They look like the people from the old game. I think like the first one was like Huge Ass or something like that. Or he was like, his name was like some like confused, like kind of funny like pun name. And he looks like the judge from the old Ace Attorney. The court will now be in trial for Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
The prosecution is ready, Your Excellency.
As this is the defense. As is the defense.
Before we begin, there's one point of order I'd like to confirm. Yesterday's evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate.
That's correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself.
Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days prior to trial. As this is an unusual case, I am obliged to ask for final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial?
This is it.
This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? That's the question the professor meant. But then, if I say I do... I need to answer quickly. What should I do? I should answer... I'll do wait and see. This is going to be... shit. It's like... I think this dude is screwy. I think this dude is suspicious. I really think it's a wait and see situation. I think that the teacher is suspicious. Kazuma's the lawyer here. I can't defend myself. If I said I do, it would be tantamount to lying. And I've been accused of murder, for goodness sake. This is no time for lies. Oh man, he would do good if he was pulled over. He'd do good on Shut the Fuck Up Fridays. Try to stop fidgeting, Ryunosuke. It's distracting. But if I don't say I'll defend myself now, things could end very badly for my friend. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will advocate. Oh fuck. Why did I volunteer? What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, will be defending myself. You'll be... what? What are you playing at, Ryunosuke? Professor Mikutoba told me everything, just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? Oh no, baby, you can... oh no, daddy, you can get me off if you want to. I have faith in you. No, it's not that, really. It's just that, well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you... Yes, I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor Mikutoba shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial.
Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat yet? Renouncing his own counsel, really?
Objection!
Make no mistake, counsel. This merely shows the defendant's innocence is so apparent, he's confident in speaking for himself. Isn't that so, Naruhodo-san? Oh, yes, exactly. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. Ugh. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered.
Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetuated a most heinous crime indeed.
As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected for all present. Do I make myself clear, Defendant Naruhodo? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence for the task you have undertaken. My competence? What does that mean? He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. So, let's get started with the very simplest of questions.
Oh, yes.
Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case.
Well, that's easy enough. I've heard his name more times than I care to remember. But... wait. Ugh, I'm so nervous. I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Let me guess. Your mind's gone completely blank. You know me so well. All of the relevant information for this case can be found in the court record. But I can't even find that. It's simple. You can access the court record with the press of RB. Are you dense? You should know this. By pressing a button, you'll be able to find the records that you're finding. If you ever find that you've forgotten something, just consult the button on the controller in the 1800s. Prequel that's set in like maybe like the turn of the century. My dude Naruhodo, who's like the Phoenix Wright of this time, just got accused of murder, and his like wonderful life partner here, Kazuma, is like trying to help coach him through all this. So he's very nervous and unable to keep himself contained. At the moment, Kazuma just told him to use his wonderful PC controller to be able to find the court records that are underneath the desk. I just have to press RB for the court record? Alright, there's no time to lose. This is a list of evidence you've collected. Now try switching to people instead with RB. So it's just like R1 and R2. You'll find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B. Alright, so... Kazuma Asogi, 23. Second year at the university, best friend, qualified lawyer as well. Yujin Mikotoba. He is a medical school professor, an authority in forensics medicine, and his mentor. This is the guy that shows up in most Phoenix Wright games as like the first prosecutor that you have to be. But according to this, he is the lead prosecutor who has little love for the changes of cultural reform brought about, because we're in a time in Japan where trade is opening up and there's a lot of westernization in like the building infrastructures and such. And this is John H. Wilson. He is a victim. He was a visiting professor from Britain who got himself shot at some cafe. I was accused of this because I got caught with like the gun, but I am not the one. I'm not the one that moided. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Now, you better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section of the court record, then press Y to present. Try it now.
Yes!
Yes! The victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson.
Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university.
Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England, invited to Yume University 3 years ago.
Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such profound implications. The British Empire. The British is at present our country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, he has signed a new treaty after lengthy negotiations.
There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. Isn't that right, Naruhodo? I don't know about that.
And then Naruhodo's just like, yeah, of course I've heard about that.
And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilled on our soil. You two are both undergraduates at the university, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor?
Ugh, but I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes a speedy resolution to this matter. Damn. The fate of whether we'll be able to have, like, I guess, like, Earl Grey and, like, Wuthering Heights imported is dependent on this trial. In other words, our government's scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're the convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. So that's why the trial has these unusual peculiarities, isn't it? Exactly. Our government needs to convict somebody as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. The curly mustache is a good indicator, but nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime. Oh dear, look at the time! I better get going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay and enjoy this place a little longer. Big mistake. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. Oh, by Western they meant British? Oh man, a British restaurant. Oh boy. I mean, this doesn't look like a pub, so this is gonna be a big mistake. We're not in for nice fried food or nothing. This ain't like fried fish or like munchie boxes or none of that good stuff. Not even curry. This looks like we're gonna be serving like friggin' like just plain haddock with peas. Or a sausage with like everything in it, including a person. See you in English class tomorrow. Then, partner. Oh boy. The British Empire. Wow, it's so incredible to think. Wait. I've seen that man at the university. I'm sure he's a visiting professor from Great Britain. It'd be a good idea to pull out a gun and blah blah blah. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. I went over to the professor's table and gave him a big American hello. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Now then, let me pose my next question to you, Defendant Naruhodo. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death? Well, obviously, that was, in the courtroom. The death occurred a little after 2 p.m. was caused by loss of blood from a gunshot. The bullet did not pass through the body. Damn. He is a male British person. Let's see, 19th of October, shortly after 2 p.m. So this is gonna be stuff that probably shows up in the trial if somebody ends up fumbling over their words. So it was like in the late afternoon. Single closed fire at closed range, fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma, no exit wound, bullet did not pass through. Alright, so present with a triangle. Yes. Oh no. Wait. Yes, come on. Come on, you can present the evidence. I have this, come on. Well, obviously that's Ryunosuke.
Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed with evidence. By evidence? But how? Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death and select present. I did this just now. I just had to catch up with it.
Yes!
Well... According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death due to a gunshot wound.
Learn to read, you imbecile! That's the post-mortem report, I take it.
Sorry, yes, that's right. The post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on this later. You will be. This is the
so-called print that's photographic in the scene of the crime.
Oh, he was having steak. Oh man, the London broil.
As you can see, he received mad cow disease, and the cow got so mad it shot him. How outstanding. We should assume the victim was shot at close range.
Thank you, counsel. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence in the court.
A photographic print of the victim has been entered in the courtroom, where he was shot in the front of the chest and subsequently died. So that's the photographic print. Well, that's something I've never heard of before. It's clearly superior to a drawing. The detail's incredible.
Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Let us start the trial.
Certainly, Your Excellency. So, without further ado, in order to better apprise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls the first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened.
Ugh. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Mikotoba? Yes. Clearly you're the defense lawyer today, not me. But that doesn't mean... Well, I could still act as your assistant. Ah, of course. Well, when he was speaking with me before, he simply said, Kazuma Asogi must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. He really has been sticking his oar in, hasn't he? Maybe, but any help you can give me would greatly be appreciated, Kazuma. First. Oh man. This is fun, like, kind of back and forth banter. This fun bickering couple dynamic. Oh, this guy did it. Look at that fucking... Witness. State your hair and state your hair. That's why I was like, look at his hair. He has highlights. He must be guilty.
Witness, state your name and occupation to the court, please.
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I am the head waiter at the Western-style restaurant called Le Carnival.
Oh, what's his name? He's got the ukitake thing from Bleach. It's like, that's not a way to describe tuberculosis. You're very insensitive, Rachna. Damn it. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some,
It's a regular occurrence. It really doesn't bother me.
Well, it really, really should.
as everyone knows, the capital's southeast corner was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become very fashionable now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim occurrence occurred in one district, one of their so-called restaurants, an Occidental eatery 3 days ago.
Understood, Hosonaga. You will kindly tell the court everything about the incident.
At once, sir.
And no petty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please.
Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? It's just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We had a few diners at the day at the time. The lunchtime rush was over, and there was only 3 tables still occupied. That fits with my memory of it, too. There was hardly anyone in this place. Oh, this cough didn't have blood. It was when I was in the kitchen putting away the crockery and cutlery. A kablooey rang out, so I hurried out to the dining area to see what had happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped in his chair. And standing immediately beside him, a gun in hand, was a accused university student.
Yes!
Hold on! Just to clarify something, I did have the gun in my hand, because that was pretty cool. While I did pick up the gun I found lying on the floor beside the professor, I didn't shoot him.
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to the witness's report of what happened and what he saw, you amateur.
But
next time you interrupt at an appropriate time, you will be penalized, Detective Naruhodo.
don't worry, Ryunosuke. You have your chance to fight back. For now, we must quietly listen to the witness. Ugh.
Let me confirm one point, waiter. Standing beside the victim with a gun in hand was the same man we see here in court today.
Yes, without question.
I see, and apart from the accused, was anyone else standing beside the victim?
No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? There was no one else around the table. What's the matter, Ryunosuke? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a woman sitting opposite him at the table. Really? And that's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Wait and see, because interjecting would be really bad at this point. I desperately want to say something, but I was told not to interject. Ryunosuke, if your parents tell you to study, you're the kind of man who would diligently get to work, aren't you? I suppose I am. I never got into Yume University otherwise. But you can't just always follow the rules in life, you know. If you don't say what you want to say right now, you'll seriously regret it when you're found guilty. Alright, you've scared me. I won't forget that piece of advice in a hurry. And there is something I want to say. I'm just gonna shut my eyes and say it.
Yes!
Just a moment, please. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. I'm sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Dear me, what are we going to do with you? With your blatant disregard for court proceedings, I begin to wonder if you're a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all?
But I'm sure of what I saw. Hosonaga-san, is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memories of the evidence is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. I don't believe it. Actually, I have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of today's landmark drawn by yourself, I presume. That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card, and it was a turbulent situation. However, as you could see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Well, you're clearly a very conscious waiter. Thank you, sir. The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. What was that about? He was completely calm and collected until now. Something seems to have shaken him. The waiter's business card has been entered in the court record.
So, the court has heard the precis of this case.
Yes, the moment the gunshot was heard at the restaurant. The only person in close proximity was the defendant today. It would seem we're looking at a black and white case here. Defendant Naruhodo.
Yes, Your Excellency.
If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you.
In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. I called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of this case, but I must warn the defense. If you're determined to pursue matters further in this trial, the prosecution has decisive evidence from sworn witnesses you were present at the scene of the crime.
What do you think I should do, Kazuma? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at this stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me this trial's unusual, about these peculiarities. You said it, professors said it. So's the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said in the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. To retire in the English countryside, and now look, you're willing to throw that away. And for what? Because you have a lack of confidence in this trial? And I thought I knew you. What? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that the innocence that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just gonna abandon that duty? Are you gonna give up on yourself? The battle hasn't even begun yet, Ryunosuke. Damn it! The defense pleads not guilty, Your Excellency. We must invite the prosecution to stop making empty threats and bring out its witnesses. Then we'll see how decisive your evidence truly is. Indeed. Prosecutor Auchi will proceed with the procedures.
You were warned the young could be so reckless. Many call me a saint, but I can be a devil when I want to.
Ugh.
In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced. Forever. The prosecution calls for its next witnesses.
Very well, officer. Bring forth the witnesses at once. Oh, man. Oh, that's the guy that looks like Fang from Street Fighter.
State your names and occupances, please.
Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant, Iesanosa, reporting for duty, sir.
Myself, I found employment in the purveyor of the finer art of antiquity of the Florence of our nation, Nippon, and conduct my trade to the city at humble premises of the second district, Kiryu Korikuta, at your service.
An antique dealer and an officer soldier. What an unusual pairing.
Both of these men were present at the restaurant on the day.
They must be the diners at the other table the waiter mentioned.
Myself, I habitually take tea from the most exquisite aroma of this establishment in question, always post noon, and not infrequently converse with interested parties that got into carriage which I make my business.
I can't understand a word this old man is saying. He is an antique dealer. He sounds like a regular at Le Carnival. He seeks out potential customers who may have interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. He obviously targets this place because it's a high-class restaurant with rich clientele. Right, I see. Although to be honest, that sergeant looks like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer.
Now you both witnessed the precise moment when this atrocious incident happened. Is that correct?
Affirmative! The enemy unit was attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. And that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his arms, sir. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during the last thing he said. So this is the decisive evidence. The prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming he saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Yes. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? If I'm honest, I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You will state everything you saw at the precise moment the incident occurred. Sir, yes, sir! Standing by ready to report, sir.
Unsavory memories of a most acerbic afternoon.
Oh damn, I gotta piece together what this is. What the witnesses saw. I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak at the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man.
Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a fantastic cameras on a military gentleman.
At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on an English citizen, and from the back a cowardly little weasel.
I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysterious accidental precious Carol.
Oh, something went missing.
Well, so you, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second where the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. The wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgiving enemy.
There are times we live in when an English gentleman was assailed in broad light of day.
But this is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Is that really true, Ryunosuke? Yes, all I did was pick up the gun that I saw lying on the floor. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I had... I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I picked it up... Well, if that's the truth, there's obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. It's somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies. There's a clue as to who that criminal was. There is? Ryunosuke, you must exercise your right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Do it now! Touch the cow, do it now.
As we have heard, there's no room in court to deny the testimony the defendant was guilty. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice.
Certainly, the testimony of this court has just heard eliminates the vestige of doubt. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of this... Yes! What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? I am the defense. Demands the right for a cross-examination.
Dear me, let me guess. The Hachimaki headband boy next door told you to do it? How pathetic.
How did he know?
The prosecution objects. This is a waste of time. The defendant has no experience. How can he crossly examine a cross-examination?
The defendant is asserting his right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Ooh. Kazuma's so demanding. It's kind of hot. Very well. Let the defendants conduct a cross-examination of the witnesses. All right, this is where the battle truly begins, Ryunosuke. But I don't even know that I have to do the cross-examination. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies in the witness's statement. How? You didn't fire the gun, which means that that soldier said a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it, and the key of doing that is evidence. Right, evidence. All you need to do is present evidence, and indisputable evidence is something that provides the witnesses, that proves the witnesses lying. Now let's go, Ryunosuke. Don't let them beat you.
All right then. It's all or nothing. All right. Cross-examination. What the witness saw. I was ingesting regulation beefsteak while having a tactical discussion. Was extolling the virtues of a fine golden curio. At the precise moment, firearm was discharged. The enemy's actions with my own eyes. Black uniform. From the back, a cowardly little weasel. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts. This is the one. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. We know there are lies lurking in the statements. It's time to expose them. I understand that. The question is how? Like I said before, the key is using evidence that you've collected. Examine and press present by pressing B. Go and witness, and this is just telling me how to do this. Somewhere in there you'll find something that doesn't add up, an inconsistency. When you find a statement that seems contradictory, present your evidence with why and rip the witness's ass in two. Just be careful, because if you assert the contradiction with no basis, you'll give in a penalty. If you're dealt too many, then it's game over. So that's it. Peruse the evidence with your buttons, and if you lose, then it's game over and you have to start the game all over again. Hear out the witness's statements over and over again as many times as you like. So keep your head and be measured in your attack. Good luck, partner. I know what it is. It's the part where he is saying... It's this one. He was underneath the table. So it would be presenting... Blood loss did not pass through the victim's body. Let's see. The black-haired uniform fired on him from the back. Oh, this one! Yeah, because I was not from the back. Oh no, back.
Yes!
What? What are you playing at, cadet? What is the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes! There is a clear inconsistency here.
What nonsense! How can this print possibly tell us what we don't already know?
Well, obviously, that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth.
I think this proves beyond a doubt, Your Excellency. There's no place for an amateur student here.
This is so frustrating. Oh, please. Surely this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be any more plain. To spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from this single glance presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here in the sergeant's statement.
What?
Sergeant Iesenosa. Yes, sir, what, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English citizen, and from the back, a cowardly little weasel. Yes, sir, affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that can't be. Why not, cadet? Because... Take a close look at the print. It was from the front. The victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound in the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit shot the victim from behind. That is an obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain that?
Oh,
Why is there a baby in his chest? What was that? Something just popped out from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant Nosa? Yes, sir. At the juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm dispatched, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious Le Carnival steak, sir.
what?
The last testimony of the court has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant Iesa Nosa, did not see the defendant firing the gun at all.
That's absurd.
I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial, just from that one discrepancy. So this is what being an ace attorney is all about. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet here, he was pointing the fire gun directly at the victim's back.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up from the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot either.
My sins have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not, so I was too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor. Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure.
Treasure.
Indeed, the Herrera Cabin, my prized car. On each occasion when I visited the restaurant, it was my habit to place it in my bosom pocket, a particular trinket of interest from the Cyprus Hotel.
In the hope of meeting a rich diner who might like to buy it from you.
On the day under scrutiny, it was the military man that I preferred me a treasure. Believe that he would purchase it as I find. I did not, but I presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes in the briefest moment of moments, it was there no more. It had simply vanished. The cabin vanished? Until around the table I was unfair to maybe fall in there, but then it happened.
You heard the gunshot, you mean?
Indeed I did, but I heeded it not. But I was concerned not with finding my absent treasure. Nothing could distract me.
Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end?
No.
I see.
The moment about here, the precious coin was lost to me. No doubt someone carefully scanned the pocket of the prized coin for me.
As I am sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report this very afternoon. Nevertheless, the witness's testimony the court has just heard was inconclusive. No matter how subservient our government feels, it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. Is that your position, Professor Agushi? Sorry, I gotta pee a moment. I'm going to save a moment, and then I'm going to use the restroom. I will be right back after these messages. And I'm back. Alright. I needed a bit of ice water because I was starting to feel the burn. I think, like, it's easy to do the voices for a lot of the characters, but, like, the old people is kind of rough. Or, like, I think his name was, like, I Saw It or something. The guy that, like, he had, like, a certain name. I forget. He's, like, kind of, like, supposed to be, like, you know the French dude in, like, Punch-Out? Yeah, that's what this dude was supposed to be. This, hold on. Yeah, this guy. I don't know what the pun is in Japanese, but the first prosecutor of Ace Attorney. It's bothering me, so I'm going to... I think it was, like, almost, like... Winston Payne. Yeah, Winston Payne. Or, like, Gaspin Payne. It's, like, stuff where it's, like, kind of like, oh, yeah, like, this guy is, like, just suffering. And his existence is suffering because he's, like, the prosecutor that's, like, always doomed to be defeated. Oh, hi, Amana. How's it going? It's great to see you. It's great to see everyone start to come on in. Yeah, we got all of our people here. This is kind of like our main, like, sort of partner. He's, like, the guy that is helping us through this trial to clear my innocence. This is just his mentor. This is the prosecutor we have to fight. This is the victim. This is the first witness. He was a waiter who, like, ended up kind of, like, really nervous about the floor plan being used as evidence. This was a guy who lied about, like, I guess, the bullet wound and where it came through. And this is, some antiques dude who is, kind of oblivious to everything. What is your position, Prosecutor Aoichi?
Worry not, Your Excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger in the front gate, but he will find a wolf in the back.
Huh?
My witnesses have further testimony to make.
Explain.
Upon hearing the next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is one person who could have committed all this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
What? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well. The court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind your prosecution's allegation. Is that clear?
As clear as clinical class, Your Excellency.
Yes, sir, at once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Oh, excuse me. Is something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up in the ranks, sir. Name Ido. It was seen those straps are assigned to the sergeant being too strapped to afford a nanny. Eidos. Teen Shun. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. The true culprit. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing.
Yes, painted his car at the foreign man he wears. A young man in black. Not much myself, I did see.
Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present.
Indeed, I heard he was the Englishman, dining all by himself.
Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman over and out. These testimonies are... Oh. Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all.
Please, enough of your outbursts.
But there was a woman. There was a young woman at the table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, you will have respect for the rules of court and speak accordingly. We are not here to listen to your fantasies. It's evident beyond reasonable doubt the victim was alone. The prosecution of the photographic evidence is there.
Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime, Counsel?
Indeed, of a table which the victim was dining, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. As can plainly see, there's only one place set.
Certainly, based on this appearance in the print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not the company of anyone else.
Doesn't make any sense.
The court will add this new photographic evidence to the report.
A bottle of carbonated water and steak. It's steak lunch. I don't understand. What's going on here? It's just not possible that no one else saw that woman. The waiter before said the exact same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear I saw a woman with him.
It would seem we'll be able to telegraph the report to the Great Britain on time. The witnesses' testimonies we've heard leave no further room in court.
In very sensitive political times, as we know, the ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I, Totsukuchi Aochi, will have contributed to the amity of these two great empires is an honor.
How can this be happening? The judge is ready to rule? Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? If what you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. And now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I don't know, Kazuma.
The defense is entitled to cross-examine the witness, but make it quick. Understood.
Rules can be so unbending at times.
Let's see. The cross-examination. This is the same stuff we heard. Almost the same thing. Pointing his gun at the foreign man. That much I did see. He was under the table. That's steak. That's the layout. Wait, this is the photo of the victim. This is the photo of the steak. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, dining by himself. Therefore, no one other than the black uniform cadet could have dispatched over and out. Let's see if this evidence... Let's see. We were the only personnel present. Let's see if the waiter's business card is able to give us, like, any indication. Let's see. Because the steak dinner didn't contradict any of this. I can't really cross-examine that, because that's bad. Dude, I don't think there's anything in the food that... I really think it's the business card. Let's try this. Oh. He was shot from the front. He saw it. This could potentially be used again. Like, how did he see this if he was under the table? I'm thinking it might be this. Let's give this a shot, maybe. Let's see, that's the wine, that's the steak. That's the same wine, that's the same steak. All that much. Oh, shit. What's this? Oh, it's just part of the table. Let's try this out and see.
Yes!
That statement is clearly odd. What appears to be odd is the way you're presenting yourself. Oh, pay no attention, Your Excellency. As you wish. Oh, fuck. That wasn't it. Pointing his gun. Let me, furthermore, visual search confirm we're the only personnel present. Now let me try to present what my original hunch was.
Yes!
The statement contradicts the facts as demonstrated by this evidence. Oh, fuck. As far as I could tell, there's nothing untoward about this evidence. But that... Pull yourself to... Shit! Ah. I can't help that. It's just my look. Okay. So what do I have as evidence? Let's see what I can cross-reference. Okay, so even if I saw it was the same thing. Not much I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premise at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. The facial expressions are too good. It feels like it reflects you feel when you get it wrong. Yeah, it's definitely that like just like stress and like just overwhelming like upsetness of just being like I guess let's see what the third statement was. A visual search of the premise at the time confirmed we were the only personnel present. Let's see. Well, I guess press. Maybe explain.
Yes!
You must have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there.
As you have been praised to point out time and time again, I'm growing calluses in my ear. And yet no one else has appeared to caught a glimpse of this woman.
If only there had been more people dining there at the time. There's someone else would have noticed. Unfortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. The quiet time between lunch and dinner at any restaurant. I know. Of course the place was almost empty. It's what you'd expect. Certainly, 2 p.m. is neither here or there in terms of times to eat. I wonder if there's a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, or why he was alone.
Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason.
There was?
This was found in the jacket pocket of the victim.
What is this, Counsel?
It's a medical record report card, Your Excellency. It would seem the victim had an appointment at the clinic prior to visiting the restaurant.
Had a clinic, yes. There would indeed be an entry for the date in question. The 19th November, noon past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident.
So the victim went for a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation could not be more simple. The prosecution felt no need to submit this evidence for her, as it really had no bearing on the case.
I wonder. What do you think, Ryunosuke?
Well, it's hard to see how it could be related, really.
Remember, you can request for it to be entered in the court record as evidence if you think it could be useful. Should I ask for the report card to be submitted as evidence? Yes.
Yes!
If I may, I'd like to ask for the report card to be submitted as evidence, Your Excellency.
On what grounds? The court has already heard conclusive evidence.
Objection!
Whether or not they're your concern is up to us to decide. We have a right to explore all possible avenues.
I beg your pardon?
You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for a submission of evidence. Oh. Yeah, Ryunosuke is adorable. He's just really put upon, he's just trying to make it through this. But like, he's just kind of just sort of contending with all of this. Yeah, Kazuma's he has this very nice tough guy sort of aesthetic. It's like a really nice dynamic between the two. Very well, the court will gain the defense's request.
Youngsters are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend.
That human rights are very disturbing.
Officer, add the evidence.
It has been added. I will be very, very quick. I will be very quick. I'm so sorry. I have to pee a second. All of this coffee and stuff is going through me. Alright, we did it. We are back and ready for action. Bring the action. We need new clues. We have explored things from every single possibility, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. Conspire to prolong as much as you like, but the day of the festival is already for you. Or perhaps you've forgotten that these witness testimonies need no room for doubt. Feel free to reiterate the accused Korekuta-san. Alone, dined alone by himself. Now let's see where this lies.